Hi guys, welcome back to By Africans for Africa. This is our second video or second episode of the African Spirituality series. Yes, so the other time we talked about not demonizing our African spirituality, and going ahead I'm hoping that you learned something from that video. And also, if you have been demonizing African spirituality, I'm hoping that, or we're hoping that you stop doing that and you're looking forward to learning new things and enjoying this series. So today we're going to think back in our lives, and we're going to ask ourselves just two questions. One, how did we encounter, how did we start hearing anything about African spirituality? And two, how did we now think or take the initiative of take the initiative of now wanting to know more or being part of it, you know? Do you understand? The first question, how did you encounter or when and how did you encounter or come across African spirituality? And the second one is, when and how did you start now want to be part of it, searching for more information? You know, you went and did this and did this, and we started you.
No.
We started. So
The answer should be the one to answer.
Okay, I will.
Okay, and then I was thinking maybe we can also ask perceptions, like what do you think about it? Like,
what did I think about it?
What do you think?
Okay, nice. And guys, as we continue, if you have such a maybe an experience as we are going to talk about, let us know in our comment section. Just type something, write something, and we'll reply, we'll chat.
And also answer the questions on the chat.
Yeah,
so that we get to understand.
So for me, being a Kikuyu, we started learning in school, like ancient people of the Kikuyu community would pray facing Mount Kenya, which is known as Kirinyaga, and they would pray under the Mugumo tree. So we knew that while growing.
But did it have any significance to you?
Okay, no, you know, it's like a story to you then, because you know in Christianity you don't care. Then you know there's a story of the Kikuyu origin. So they teach us in school. There was Kikuyu. They teach us. So they teach us in school. There was Kikuyu who God created, and Mombi, who they then God gave them land, and they are the father of the mother of Eve. Yeah, and they got 9 daughters. Like, you don't know that? Ooh, the next episode we'll be talking about that. She doesn't know about the Kikuyu a story of creation.
Yeah,
in fact, I should even take you to that place.
Yeah, right.
Because God created Kikuyu, then he took him to Kirinyaga mountain, which is Mount Kenya. Then he created his wife Mombi, and together he took them to a place called Mungurue Wanyagatanga, where they established their home, and he gave them land between Mount Kenya, the Gom Hills, that mountain, what is it called? The Kilimambogo, Oldonya Sabuk, and the Aberdare ranges. So the land in there belongs to the Kikuyu. Then, so in school we learned that we are going to talk about the story, and we can go even to the other place. But in school we learned about that when we were very young. Then Kikuyu used to pray under the Mugumo tree, which is the fig tree, among other things. That is one. The second encounter is when you hear the dowry payment. You know, that's still Christian spirituality. And then the second question is my perception then. You know, then you never cared about these things. You're just there. It's a dowry payment. There's food you eat. Then when I was in high school, or when I was in high school, I was in a place where you could see the mountain very, very clearly. And I had this feeling that I should pray facing the mountain. So I used to do it. I would go to a place alone and pray to our God, you know. Then my dad used to tell me a lot of things, and you know, he's pro-traditional. And I used to enjoy it. I used to listen. I used to be happy about it. So that's what pushed me to looking for my own spirituality. And that's where I felt I should then need to accept it and be part of it. And now, in these episodes, we'll be going deeper into even looking for my spirituality and my wife's spirituality. Searching, like we go down to where it all started according to the stories, and we try to get some answers. And these guys, you can follow us, and I hope you are going to enjoy. So it's your time.
What was the question again?
The first question is, when did you come into?
Okay, let's answer the first one.
Yeah.
The when is, I think, growing up. I cannot really say like you say it at school.
Yeah. Like when was that?
The minute I knew how to speak.
So what happened?
You know, for us it's different. Sisi tumezaliwa kwa traditions, kwa culture.
Where is that?
In Swaziland. It's very different. I cannot say I started knowing when I was in school. I knew there's a sangoma. I knew there's a traditional healer even way before school. I knew people, those are people who use African spirituality in the bad way to maybe kill or to what do you call it? To gain some powers, to be rich, to gain some powers that they're not supposed to have, or to give others those powers. So those are things that we grew up knowing and being scared of. Like we were even scared of a traditional healer because for us there was no difference between a traditional healer and Tagat, a witch. Yeah. So that's now going to school. You are taught the Swazis had their own god called Mvelingandi or Mlendengamunye. They used to pray. They used to get messages from their ancestors, and then their ancestors are the ones who communicate to God for them. So things like that they were embedded in us from a very, very young age, and then taught at school. But what was the next question?
The perception.
The perception. Kulikuwa na ingine.
The second one is like, when did you start feeling like, or being part of it, or feeling like you should
now
research?
Okay, feeling like it, I never had a reason to feel part of it. Growing up as a Christian, I never felt the need and the reason, but circumstances would force now me to understand that there's something called, there's another way of life that people are practicing. There's a good and there's a bad, and those who are bad in that African spirituality can be corrected through the good African spirituality and way of doing things. So for me, getting sick and what do you call it? Being sick now, it's something that cannot be treated in a clinic or in a hospital. You are forced to seek other means of treatment. That is when I realized this is for real. This is like really for real. And you getting healed through the other means of prayer for Christians, church never worked for me. Hospitals, medicines never worked. So when I sought medical healing through the African way of doing things, that is when I got it, and that is when I realized, wow, this is actually real. In fact, growing up, my dad and my mom used to drink African herbs. There was not a problem about it. So we never saw a problem with seeking treatment from a traditional healer who can help you get healed. So I don't know if I'm answering the questions very well, but they are embedded.
So one thing she talked about bad side of African spirituality, and I think that's what most people are scared of. Because when you are born, you have your own powers, and you have your ancestors to guide you through. But like we say, this good and bad, good end is good and bad, and you have your might to make a decision. There are people who use those powers. Yeah, I know that's a question like, you have your own powers. Yeah, everybody has their own powers. You are very powerful, guys. You are very powerful. So there are people who use those powers in a bad way. Because if you understand the African spirituality and you know how to use the powers to help people, because everybody is blessed with some certain talent or powers. That's the good side. But there are people who use those powers to maybe ruin the lives of others, kill. That is witchcraft. And most people, I think, are scared of that. That's why you find that in most African community, our seers were confused as being the witches.
Exactly. It's like in church. In church, you have a good prophet and a bad prophet.
Yeah. So
there's one who will misuse his prophetic powers and tanganya people and cause harm to others.
So there are those people who become witches to ruin, while the spirituality is good. So this thing was taken as a collection of that is witchcraft. Being in African spirituality is witchcraft. In fact, if you hear people in the West talking about voodoo, it's something they are so scared of, because they say voodoo is they refer to witchcraft. It's like they are saying voodoo is witchcraft. It's in a similar manner. So even
it's a term
in my growing, if you hear someone, people go speaking at that person is a witchcraft, he goes to visit witches, you get so scared. And in a similar manner, if you hear someone went to visit a seer or a traditional healer, you get so scared because you don't even differentiate the two. So something else you want to say?
I was just making the example of how anything has a good and a bad. It's like if you misuse medicine can treat you or it can heal you, but if you if you overdose, it will kill you. You see? It's like the same way that others are using the spiritual power in a very bad way. Like they will use traditional herbs. There are herbs that are meant to treat a certain condition, but there are those that are poisonous. So somebody will give you that claiming to help you, but it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
So you just need to be careful also.
And African spirituality is a very deep topic. And we cannot finish it today. And we don't know a lot of things. But in this series we are going to do that. We are going to see what we can learn, because we are also learning. We are also looking for it. You join us, let us learn together, and we become wise together.
And we shall soon be bringing a seer or somebody who has very good knowledge of such things for you guys to
this
learn
channel.
more from them.
So guys, thank you for watching this episode. If you haven't watched the previous one, that is the first episode, it's somewhere on the screen. And we thank you. Keep supporting us. If you haven't subscribe to our channel, and you get to learn more and more about Africa. So let us continue loving each other and supporting each other.
Embrace our Africanness. Africa.
Yeah, embrace our Africanness, our spirituality, our culture. It's us. Our ancestors, our God. It's us.
Yes, we are ancestors. They are us.
Yeah, they are us. We are part of them. We are part of their DNA. And
we shall soon be ancestors.
The people who passed on are not gone. They are here with us. Understand that.
But they are not demons. My father is not a demon.
So, ciao. See you in the next one.
Subscribe. Bye.